It's like waking up in a world full of Alzheimer's. It's confusing. It's astounding. It leaves you bamboozled. Hello, my name is Paystee.
And I'm Fat Mac.
And you're listening to Beef Sticks Podcast. Tonight at the top of the show, as always, we got to give a big shout out to our lovely sponsors. Of course, I'm talking QualiTee's T-shirt company of Wilmer, Minnesota, bringing you the finest quality custom tees, sublimation, heat transfer vinyl and decals, and T-shirts all around for any occasion. Sports teams, work, marketing, they got you covered. And then, on the other hand, you've got my good friend Corey Matthews at Monster Wear Clothing, bringing you your small runner bulk orders on decals, stickers, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, glassware, jerseys, and many other types and styles of fabrics, along with custom graphics and logo design services offered. Monster Wear Clothing is your one-stop shop for all your self-branded needs. He does impeccable graphics work. And you don't want to miss out.
And you definitely got to give the monster a call this close after Halloween.
Oh, yeah. Keep that season rolling on. So what's up, Fat Mac? What we got going on in this
And 'tis the season to remember...
history?
Well, it's the season to remember a fallen soldier in the world of pro wrestling, one that many of us grew up watching, because, folks, 17 years ago, the first annual Ted Petty Invitational took place on November 1st and 2nd of 2002 in Clarksville, Indiana, to honor the deceased wrestler Rocco Rock of Public Enemy, who, of course, real name was Ted Petty. The first round of this tournament seen a wide range of performers, most of whom you'd recognize today. We had BJ Whitmer, who defeated Matt Murphy. Ace Steel beat Super Dragon. Nick Mondo going over Nate Webb. Colt Cabana besting Ken Anderson.
Both of whom you can see in NWA Power now.
Of course. Chris Hero heroically overtaking Matt Stryker. Jimmy Rave winning against Tarek the Great. Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels getting a win on his close friend AJ Styles.
That says
and
Fallon
CM
Angle.
Punk punking out M-Dog 20, who of course was a young Matt Cross.
Fallon
and the
Angle.
final of this amazing tournament was BJ Whitmer and CM Punk going toe-to-toe, with BJ taking out CM in the end and winning the IWA Mid-South Heavyweight Championship in the process.
Sounds like a great show.
Oh, for sure. And for a great cause. And in fact, they ran this for, I want to say 6-7 years. I think they haven't done it for the past few years now. But, yeah, I mean, so many.
It's changed to the Tom Petty Invitational.
I believe so. I believe it is. But yeah, so many names that you still watch today. Some were big at the time, and some weren't. But
yeah,
God, you talk about Matt Cross, CM Punk, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Matt Stryker, Chris Hero, Colt Cabana, Mr. Anderson, BJ Whitmer, all people that are going strong today and are in main event or upper mid card positions.
Yeah, it's a solid list of people.
I'd say go out of your way to find it. It is around on the internet. I couldn't find a great full video of it on YouTube, but I was able to find it through some channels that we don't want to say here because we don't want them taken down.
Yeah, because then they wouldn't be a resource. Speaking of somebody who wouldn't be a resource, good old JR is back with this week's Token JRR. This one's a good one.
Just listen to the diehards that pay their money to come see us. And I don't think that Neville, or certainly Stu Snyder. Snyder loved the parties and the things like that, the social things, kind of a gadfly. But Neville reminded me, and I saw this the other day on TV, of Bernie Sanders. Tall guy, bald, older, wise guy, wise in his intellect, but it just didn't have but nothing excited him in what we did.
Neville reminded him of Bernie Sanders.
Oh, that good old JR. Whenever I see an old white guy, I automatically think Bernie Sanders.
Nothing we did. Nothing excited him that we did. I think Bernie Sanders is a little overexcited by everything.
I think he is. I think JR needs to just sit back, take a breath, and not stumble over all his words. But he is so fun to listen to. I give him so much crap. We're going to continue to give him so much crap each and every week on this show. But that shouldn't deter anybody from actually going back and listening to the podcast, because they are full of just unbridled information. JR holds no punches when it comes to anybody, including the company that's paying him right now.
Right. That's the beauty of it.
And he had some choice words for Seth Rollins this week, or last week, I should say. I haven't listened to this week's, but because that dropped today. But last week he had some choice words for Seth Rollins about his minor leagues comment.
Good stuff. And now moving forward,
there's some more good stuff, man.
Yeah. The best reason to watch wrestling this week, and unfortunately, with it being Halloween week, I didn't have all the time in the world to watch all the wrestling in the world. So there's not a whole lot to say. And there's one thing I would like to include on the list, but I'm not going to tell you to watch a WWE Saudi show. So that'll be talked about later on. But, of course, on top of the line this week, we got to talk about Impact Wrestling, because Sami Callihan defeated Brian Cage in a cage for the Impact World Championship. And then advances.
Hell of a match.
Yeah. And Tessa Blanchard wants that title.
And she looked badass when she was in there toe-to-toe with him.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And this is good, because it's much more believable Tessa going after Sami, even for as hardcore as he is, than the giant bulked up Cage. This is a much better match. And of course like you said, they already got the feud going, so this is great. I would love to see Tessa walk away with the championship at some point.
Oh, she should. Definitely.
Still no word on whether she is actually re-signed with Impact or not, though.
It sounds like she's heading in that direction.
She'll
probably re-sign once the gold's around her waist.
It's not a bad idea.
And then, of course, I did watch AEW Dynamite this week, and I gotta say it was far better than last week's What the Fuck Was That I just watched. In the show, we saw a very good promo package, kind of Halloween themed, depicting Brandy Rhodes walking away from her everyday life and going into this dark, witchy, satanic type of chamber and performing a ritual to summon the one and only Awesome Kong.
Summon the Kong.
Who I'm only assuming she's going to use to brutalize the women's division. It was probably the best thing I've ever seen involving Brandy in wrestling ever.
Yeah, no, I mean, she hasn't obviously done much, but
Right.
I can't say that I didn't get a chance to watch it this week. I just was not able to. I just wasn't. But
the Rick and Morty stuff was pretty fun too.
Oh, the Rick and Morty. That. Yeah, I didn't. Wasn't it just them coming out in masks? Is that what it was?
It was Best Friends and Orange Cassidy came down as Rick, and Morty. There was two Ricks and a Morty.
Yeah.
And then they handed out a bunch of masks to the people in attendance, so everybody in the crowd was wearing different Rick masks and Morty masks.
I was. This is the second time now that they've kind of dropped the ball on. They're pulling the Dixie Carter move of trying to hype people up for these events and announcements that are kind of lackluster.
Yeah.
Because I mean, yeah, it's cool that they dressed up as Rick and Morty, but everybody was dressing
their
up that
entrance,
night.
they were announced to the ring by Harmon and Royland. So
yeah, who weren't there? It was like a pre-tape, right? Yeah.
Probably.
So it's like, I mean, it's nothing that needed to be promoted ahead of time.
It's plain and simple TBS wanting to get get advertising on a program that they know fans, Rick and Morty people are probably watching AEW.
Well, Turner owns Adult Swim,
that's
so
what I'm saying.
That makes sense, and I get that. But they just had the huge announcement coming. They had a press conference and everything for this giant, huge announcement that was going to change the business, and then they promoted that they were just going to have their first match in their first show in Jacksonville. And they got a lot of shit about that.
Yeah, but then Tony Khan did slyly say we got to come up with something else. Now
they're backpedaling and they're like, oh, we got to do something else. And it's like, you can't.
I think it's being coy. I don't see it as backpedaling. I think they've had something else planned, and that was just the small thing they leaked out for now.
Yeah, but isn't that shitty for getting people excited for that announcement? And your announcement is just that you have an announcement?
Yeah, but what if it's not 100% locked in yet? Where the point, if they said something about it, would fuck it up.
Then you shouldn't do it. It's a Dixie Carter. People, hey, I'm just calling it how it is. I give Dixie Carter so much shit for all of that, and it's like you can't be telling you can't be hyping these things to fans and letting fans down every night. It's better to give fans low expectations and blow them out of the water than high expectations and disappoint them.
Well, how about SCU defeating the Lucha Bros to become the first ever AEW Tag Team Champions? That was a solid match.
That's something I can get behind. I could definitely get behind that.
That's what you wanted the whole time. They said, fuck it, we're going to cater to Fat Mac this week.
I like it.
And Proud and Powerful destroyed the Rock and Roll Express and power slammed Ricky Mortensen through a stage prop. It was amazing. They took a lot of damage. They had a sock full of random something that they were beating them up with, too. It looked like 3 tennis balls, but still. I like the idea of having something in a sock, because it can be something soft, but the people watching don't know that.
Right. It's kind of like a Triple H's sledgehammer. It's foam, but it could be solid steel.
The contract signing between Jericho and Cody was a little lackluster. But overall, I'd say the show was a better product than last week by far. It was back, I'd say quality of 2 weeks ago, which was their best show yet. So,
one thing I wanted to bring up in the complaint department and one thing in the positive department. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and again, I didn't watch it this week, so I'm not sure. But like 2 weeks ago, either it was one of the last shows they did the whole blackout again, where they blacked everything out, and then somebody popped up again. And I was like, God, haven't I been telling them they're doing that way too much? So they really need to hold off on that. The positive I want to say,
WWE and the Fiend.
The positive I want to say that you don't have on here was I did see the video clip of Kenny Omega coming out as Sans from Undertale, and with the Undertale type theme that was just badass. And to me, I thought
it's cool. It's great for setting the stage for what's to come. Like the voices telling him that his friends are gonna abandon him because he's not doing good.
I thought that was cooler than the Rick and Morty stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm not an Undertale fan. I'm a Rick and Morty fan. But
I didn't type it in there, but it was definitely something I wanted to bring up because it was awesome.
Yeah.
And then the Young Bucks were just wearing their same costumes from Fight for the Fallen or whatever the.
Yeah. Their Street Fighter garb.
They must have paid a lot for them. They're getting their money's worth.
I'm sure they did.
Kenny still hasn't showed up. That's why he was Sans.
Right. The good thing, though, Paystee, another best, is that we don't have a worst.
Yeah, that's a great thing to have, especially in a week like this when you had a Saudi Arabia show. That could have definitely been on there.
I've heard nothing but good things about that show, which is sad. But I mean, it's not sad. It's very good. It's just sad that certain people who are too proud to watch it are never going to get to see those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're going to delve into that a little later on. But man, Paystee, we got something else to delve into that's taken in one day it took the pro wrestling internet fans by